Hi everyone, today we're going to be solving Aqa GCSE Chemistry question paper June 2018. Today we're going to be solving paper 2F. This particular question paper contains 10 questions. Today we're going to be solving the part 1 of the question paper from question number 1 to question number 5. This question is about copper sulfate. Blue copper sulfate turns white when it is heated. The word equation for the reaction is hydrated copper sulfate. When it is heated, it turns into anhydrous copper sulfate plus water. So hydrated copper sulfate has a color of blue, and when it is heated, it turns into white color anhydrous copper sulfate. What name is given to hydrated copper sulfate in this reaction? Hydrated copper sulfate in this reaction is a product. So what does this symbol mean? Well, this symbol means reversible. Complete the sentence. The color change when water is added to anhydrous copper sulfate is white to. So when we add water to anhydrous copper sulfate, it becomes hydrated copper sulfate. So it will go from white to blue. The student heats 2.5 gram of hydrated copper sulfate in a test tube. 0.9 gram of water is given off. The remaining solid is anhydrous copper sulfate. Calculate the mass of anhydrous copper sulfate that is produced. So it's going to be 2.5 minus 0.9, which will give our answer 1.4. Calculate the percentage of water contained in 2.5 gram of hydrated copper sulfate. So in a 2.5 gram of hydrated copper sulfate, we had 0.9 grams of water. So 0.9 divided by 2.5 into 100%, which will give our percentage. So the answer is 36%. Draw one line from each compound to the formula of the compound. For example, copper sulfate. When we are labeling copper sulfate, so it's going to be CuSO4 and water will be H2O. This question is about fuels. Octane is a hydrocarbon in a petrol. Cracking breaks down large hydrocarbon molecules into smaller hydrocarbon molecules. Which hydrocarbon molecule can be cracked to produce C8H18? So as you can see, C8H18 is already a very large hydrocarbon. So we need even bigger hydrocarbon than that. So we will require a C12H26 minimum in order to produce such a large hydrocarbon. What type of carbon compound is octane C8H18? This follows the general formula CnH2n plus 2. That means this is an alkane. So it will be an alkane. Oxygen is needed to burn fuels. Name the source of the oxygen needed to burn fuels. So whenever we burn any fuel, alright, we use air, and air contains oxygen. Particulates and sulfur dioxides are pollutant produced when some fuels burn. Draw one line from each pollutant to the polluting effect. So for example, particulates. So we know that particulates are like dust particles. For example, carbon dust particles. Particulates can lead to global dimming. As a result, we can see fog and smoke in the air. Sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide leads to acid rain because it's acidic gas. By the way, global warming is caused by substances like methane. For landfill, we can say garbage, and sewage sludge. Sometimes sewage sludge will lead to nitrification or nitrification process in the rivers and lakes. Which two gases are produced when fuels burn in car engine? So when fuels burn in car engine, ammonia cannot be produced. Obviously, it will produce carbon dioxide. It may produce carbon monoxide. Nitrogen is already present in the air. Oxygen is already present in the air. Carbon dioxide. And if there is incomplete combustion, then we produce carbon monoxide. Vehicle produces most of the atmospheric pollution in cities. How could the atmospheric pollution in cities be reduced? So build more roads in cities? No, that will lead to more driving. Build new car factories? That will lead to more cars. Develop fuel efficient engines? Yes, you can develop fuel efficient engine so that less amount of fuel is burned. Make car tax cheaper? Then people will buy more car, which will be problematic. Use electric cars? Yes, we can use electric cars to reduce emissions. Polymers are used to make fabrics. Table 1 shows some properties of two polymers: density, melting point, flame resistance, water absorption. And the polymer J, we can see that flame resistance is poor, whereas polymer K, flame resistance is very good. Water absorption is for polymer K is high, and for polymer J is low. Polymer fabrics are used to make firefighter uniforms. Complete the table 2 by deciding for each property whether polymer J or polymer K is best for firefighter uniforms. Density has been completed for you. You can see density, 3 boxes for in total. Density, lower density means the cloth will be lighter. Melting point should be higher. Of course, the polymer that the firefighter cloth needs to be made should be having a very high melting point. It should be flame resistance. So polymer K is good in flame resistance. And water absorption. It should not be absorbing water because firefighter uses a lot of water. so water absorption should be low. Firefighter uniforms made from polymer J has a mass of 6 kilograms. Calculate the mass of a uniform of the mass same size made from polymer K. Use table 1 and the equation. Mass of uniform made from polymer K, density of polymer K divided by density of polymer J into 6. Density of polymer K, if we look into that information, we get 0.9 and 1.4. For polymer J is 0.9, so it's going to be 1.4 divided by 0.9 into 6. So that is equals to 9.3. Polymers J and K are both thermosoftening polymers. Polymer L is a thermosetting polymer. Why would polymer L be better than polymer J and K for firefighter uniforms? So since it is a thermosetting polymer, the polymer L will not melt because J and K is thermosoftening. So when heat gets in contact with heat, it will become softer and it will start to melt. Polymers J and K are made from crude oil. In the past, firefighter uniforms were made from wool. Wool is obtained from sheep. Why are many fabrics made from polymers instead of wool? That's because, first of all, polymers J and K are made from crude oil. In the past, firefighter uniforms were made from wool. Wool is obtained from sheep. Why are many fabrics made from polymers instead of wool? Polymers are man-made. Yeah, polymers are man-made. However, the thing is, there is no need for, just because something is man-made doesn't mean that it's going to be used instead of something that is natural. All right, so that is not a valid point. Wool is more easily available. Wool is actually not easily available. We have to raise sheep. All right, then wool will be available. So wool is more flame resistant. Wool is technically not more flame resistant because it's a natural substance, it burns. So polymers are more hardware and there is a better control in what substances that goes in making that polymer. Why is wool more suitable, sustainable than polymer J and K for making firefighter uniform? Wool is renewable because we will not run out of wool. As long as there will be sheep or as we keep on growing sheep or their meat purposes also, we will also keep on getting the wool. All right, whereas crude oil is non-renewable and we will eventually run out. A 9-carat gold ring is made from a mixture of metals. Table 3 shows the mass of different metals in the ring. The mass of ring is 5 grams. We have 1.9 grams of gold, 2.8 grams of silver, 0.3 grams of copper. Plot the data from copper from table 3 or figure 1. The only information remaining is for copper, which is 0.3. So we will label 0.3 and then we are going to write copper. The cost of gold is 30 grams per ounce per gram. Calculate the cost of gold used in the 9-carat gold ring. In this particular gold ring, we have used 1.9 gram of gold, 1.9 into 30. So there is a total of 57 pounds worth of gold that is used. Rings can be made from 22-carat gold. The ratio of the mass of gold in 22-carat gold compared to 9-carat gold is 22.9. 22 is to 9. Calculate the mass of gold in 22-carat gold ring of mass 5 grams. So in order to find out the mass of gold in a 5 gram ring, we will have to use the ratio, which is 22 over 9. And in the case for a 9-carat, we have already used 1.9 gram. So 22 divided by 9 times 1.9, this will give us 4.6 gram. That means if the same ring was to be made with 22-carat gold, then it would have to contain 4.6 gram of gold. Pure gold is 24 carat. Suggest 2 reasons why silver and copper are mixed with gold to make 9-carat gold rings. A 9-carat gold ring is, more harder than a 24-carat gold ring, and it is less expensive. And another thing is 9-carat gold has a distinctive color which is different than 24-carat gold, and thereby could be more attractive to the person who is going to buy it or use it. Copper is obtained from copper ores by recycling copper. Copper ores are non-renewable. Copper ores can be obtained by mining. Some scrap copper goes to landfill sites. Give 3 reasons why we should use recycled copper instead of copper from copper ores. When we are going to use recycled copper, we will, copper ores will never run out because we are continuously recycling the old copper that we had and we are using it for new purposes. And we will never run out of landfill sites where we're going to put those coppers once their, lifetime is finished, and less energy will be used in producing recycling the copper than actually producing the new copper. Mining causes more pollution, so less pollution will be made, and copper from copper ore are more expensive than actually copper from. A student investigated the colors in 3 different flowers A, B, C using paper chromatography. The colors are soluble in ethanol but are insoluble in water. This is the method used. Place ethanol in a beaker, add the flour, stir until the color dissolves in the ethanol, filter the mixture, put spots of the colored filtrate on the chromatography paper. The filtrate was very pale colored solution. how could the student obtain a darker color solution? In order to obtain a darker color solution, the student can use more flowers, or the student can crush the flower to get more pigments out of it, and the student can use more flowers. Filtering the mixture 3 times will not give us more concentrated color. Using larger beaker or more ethanol may dilute the color. Figure 5.2 shows the apparatus used. You can see a lead, we can see the beaker and chromatography paper inside the beaker. We can see the start line needing and the water, which is going to be our solvent for this particular process. What two mistakes did the student make in setting up the apparatus? We can see the start line is done with ink. Start line should be drawn with graphite pencil. And the next thing that we are seeing is that the student uses water as a solvent, because the student extracted the color using alcohol. So the student should have used alcohol as a solvent. And now the student sets up the apparatus correctly. Figure 3 represents the student's result. We can see A, B, C, and we can see C does not contain both A and. What two conclusions can be made from figure 3? Flower A contains a single pure color. Yes, this is correct. Flower A and B contains the same color. No, their spots are not in the same line. They are not correct. The color in flower C is a mixture. We can see flower C contains a mixture of two colors. Alright, so since we have to take only two conclusions, we are already done. Let's see the other point. The color in flower B was the least soluble. Now, actually, we can see it is the most soluble because it traveled the furthest. Two of the colors have the same RF value. To have the same RF value, the color must appear in the same line, in the same horizontal line. So since there is no color that is in the same horizontal line, so none of them have the same RF value. The student records some experiment. The measurements are: the color from the flower B moved 7.2 centimeter, the solvent moves 9 centimeter. The RF value for color from flower B. So RF value is calculated when the distance moved by the color, which is 7.2, divided by the distance moved by the solvent, which is 9. So 7.2 divided by 9, our answer will be 0.8. So guys, in this video, we're done with question number 5. Thank you for watching the video. And in the next video, I'm going to be posting from question number 6 to question number 10. Guys, best of luck for your exam. See you in the next video. Bye.